Am I going to be able to run? Am I going to be able to run? And that thought constantly goes, and my habit is to always, I want to come off that bike flying. Like, I love the run. Like, this is the thing I need to do. I love to do. And I had to keep coming back and say, like, this race is not about the run.
Yeah.
Today's not about the run. Today's about pushing on the bike and just seeing what run fitness you have off of that bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it proves and when you do that, and you risk that a little bit, now you know where you stand. Now you know where you can do the work.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the YTP, the Yogi Triathlete podcast, where every week we give you the people who are looking, finding, and living their purpose with the hope, the intention, and the glimpse of wonder that somehow, somewhere, someone will all of a sudden realize that they don't have to be stuck in life, that those things that they dream about are absolutely possible. And I'm sitting here in a very crowded, seedy hotel room with many people who are living their dream and their purpose. And so today is an awesome show. We're going to do, I'm calling it the Ironman Santa Rosa Roundtable Smackdown. We've got 3 people here that raced yesterday. We've got Troy, who is not only a second timer on the show, he has been on the show in 2 consecutive weeks. So if you didn't go and listen to his episode last week, episode 63 with Rodrigo Romero Garcia de la Cadena, I love saying that name. That's how I'm going to address you the whole show. Go back and listen to that because it's awesome. We're getting really, really great feedback from it, and you will never look at racing and life without a higher level of inspiration. Right, Troy?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. All right. And then we have Susannah with us, who we met in Lake Placid at the beginning of our tour last year. Amazing. And we're reconnecting with her now. And Santa Rosa, she did her first Ironman yesterday and absolutely ate it for lunch, as I yelled to her on the run course yesterday. And then, of course, we've got Coach Beej, who tried out a brand new strategy, and we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, we have the support teams. We've got Billy Hafferty, Half a Tree. Episode what? What were you?
It's either 54 or 57.
All right, episode 54, 57. You may remember him as the all too controversial author of the wussification of Ironman blog post that came out after Ironman Chattanooga and really whooped him in the butt a little bit, right, bud? Yeah. So go back and listen to that one. That's another actually really good one on how to grow a pair in life. And we have Elizabeth, who is Rodrigo's beautiful, amazing other half, and she is here in the States for a month to spend time with him. And then we have me. I'm Jess. I'm the host, and welcome back, everyone. So we're going to dive in. Anyone who did Ironman Santa Rosa yesterday, you're going to know what we're talking about. And if you are thinking about signing up for next year, do it. Just sign up. It opens when, Beach? August 5th. We're going to get that date for you, but don't wait anymore. Get your checkbook ready. Get your credit card ready. Sign up. Train with us. Get a whole year in advance. We're going to be back here next year. Be just signing up. We're bringing the yoga. August 7th, registration open, so be up here with us. We're going to do a training camp in March in San Diego, and it's going to be like no other. Of course not, because no one's doing what we do, you guys. This is holistic performance. You can't do an Ironman and not have it affect your entire life. So if you're going to be awesome on the course, be awesome everywhere. All right, so we're diving in. We've got questions from listeners, but we really want to do a recap of the race. So we are going to start with our first timer, Susannah. Let's see. Let's talk about the swim, right?
Yeah, let's start. The day leading up to the swim when the water temperature.
Yeah. So there was some chatter about not being able to have it be wetsuit legal, and there was a lot of talk on Facebook. People were really nervous about that. You know, when we get nervous and we get anxious about things, it's really such a conflict within because we're trying to control things we can't control. So how did you feel about all of that chatter that was going on that you didn't know if you're going to be able to wear a wetsuit or not?
I really just wanted to know the answer so I could be prepared, and I was fine with it being wetsuit or non-wetsuit coming from a swimmer background, and I still wanted there to be a wetsuit because I knew that my time would be faster, but at the same time I thought, well, I won't have to, run up that whole ramp without a wetsuit on. That would be great. So that's all I was thinking about.
So, but when you showed up that day, you had to wear the wetsuit. Oh, and by the way, we are talking to the girl who won the Roca Fastest Swim Award today. So congratulations at that. So how did the swim go for you?
It was fine. I kind of got down to the start late, so I didn't get to start right at the front of the pack like I had intended. So I was really swimming over people a lot the first lap and especially the second lap. But it was a nice swim. The water, I don't know, it tasted really nice, like good clean pond water. And it was cool because the water was so warm, not quite illegal wetsuit warm, but they had the mist was just coming off of the water, and you'd get halfway to the next buoy before you'd see it, but it was pretty straightforward.
And how were you with your swim time?
I was all right. Yeah, a little bit slower than I had intended to, given, I think, the slow start towards the back. But I went 56 something, I think.
What did you have goals for the swim?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was going for the Roca win. I come from such a swimming background that I hope to have a really good swim and be one of the first out of the water. And yeah.
Did you swim in college?
I did. Yep.
Did you swim in high school?
I did. Yeah.
So what was like the sickest workouts you guys used to do?
Oh, my club team had a tradition of doing 100 100s around New Year's. And doing 100 100s on 110 was pretty brutal one year. That's my most memorable workout. And it's amazing to think now that I used to be able to do that.
A lot of swimmers that I've talked to, they just get really burned out by all that volume. Did you get burned out and needed a break? Like, how was it diving back into Ironman training with that kind of background?
Yeah, after I was a sprinter, which is now like even more crazy to think that I'm doing a super long endurance race. My parents can't believe that I would do something that's longer than a minute. And I was definitely really ready. I had a wonderful experience swimming in college, and at that point you're specializing, and as a sprinter the volume isn't as high. But I was ready to be retired at 22 and then just swimming a little bit here and there to maintain and then pick it up a bit as I've started doing triathlons the past couple of years.
And then you never lose that stroke.
Yeah.
I mean, I see those people get in the pool. They could be, and I'm not saying you're out of shape. You're like in amazing shape, but like I see that classic person get in the pool that's like pretty out of shape, and they just come in and they've got the most beautiful stroke. Yeah, I mean the classic American figure.
Right.
So how is the contact on the swim? Did you have contact, like first loop to second loop?
Yeah, I definitely felt like, people are definitely kicking. If you touch somebody's leg, sometimes they kick back at you. I didn't get punched. I was thinking
Maybe I did.
Maybe Troy kicked back at me.
We kind of think that you
Troy's
and Troy
feet.
were all over each other.
Potentially.
Did you punch Troy in the face during the?
No, I
sure?
don't think I punched anybody.
Someone did, and we're looking for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call that a green cat person.
We are good.
Yeah, no, I was pretty, I don't know. I always seem to just try to go for the clearer water, which probably means I'm zigzagging a bit, but it was okay.
Nice. And Beej,
Yeah.
how was your swim? You were kind of like all suiting up in your speed suit the night before.
I
You
was,
were like,
yeah.
I'm going to sleep in this, and I'm just going to like get up and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So
I was looking good and feeling good.
you were he was standing in front of the mirror for a couple minutes in the Roca
I could have been there
speed
all
suit.
day.
It looked really good on it. It was kind of it's kind of like
like
Spanx.
me in the race in Boulder.
Yeah.
Good.
That's right. Yeah, last time we had Troy on the show, he was about to race his first Olympic, and word on the street, although I did get some proof of it in one of your race pictures, that you had your speed suit on the bike.
Yeah.
I pulled up your photo. I was like, you got to see this. Look at Troy.
No, of course not. I was just getting out of the water with the first pack, so I was just like in such a hurry, like Then I jump in the bike, and then like a couple of the first miles, I was starting like getting out of breath, and it's really hard for me to get out of breath or whatever. Like I'm pushing all out, I will never get out of breath. So then I looked down, and it was like super tight, like my skin suit. So I was like, so I think he was looking for the same swag, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I would do
you-
the same thing. It worked for him.
Yeah. No, so how was your swim? You were kind of psyched up to not have a wetsuit. And
Yeah, I was
then-
kind of psyched up, and then I did use the wetsuit, obviously, and yeah, I thought I would. I thought I had I was going after the swim, you know, that is my strategy for the whole race. This is probably we'll get into, but just to go after it, and it wasn't. The time doesn't reflect the effort that I put into it, or it does, I guess.
It doesn't though, because your swim times in the pool, they don't add up to what you did yesterday.
So again, this whole purpose is to test things out and see where I'm at. And
I
this
think
is a
we just
great
gotta throw you to the sharks. You gotta get into the open water more.
Literally, the sharks in Southern California.
Yeah, literally, they're out there.
They're like biting people. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's been a
should be
couple
good.
bites already this year. No, but how did you feel?
but other than that, I felt pretty good. You know, like Susannah was saying, it was pretty. There's some spots in there where there were just a bunch of people. Like I was trying to navigate my way through. And then sighting to the buoys, especially on the way back, coming along the shore towards the bridge, there was one moment when the sun was rising, and I think it might have been the first or second loop, but you could faintly see something in the foreground. It might have been a buoy. But I've been practicing the sighting, so it was like really helpful just to like gallop up and kind of get myself above the water and sight. But I also did skip that buoy that brought you back into shore
Yeah.
on the first lap.
Yeah.
And the kayaker was there like yelling at people like, get back, you know, you got to go around the buoy, because I guess some people had already gone through who didn't. And so I had to like swim back a couple strokes, get around the buoy, and then come back in. But other than that, I felt really good on the swim. You know, I was really calm, and obviously in the past it's been a troubled spot for me as far as, you know, getting a little panicky out there. But yeah, it's been really good. I felt like I had a good experience.
How would you did you have a mantra out there?
Yeah,
What was it?
be relentless.
Nice.
I'm stealing that from
Yeah, that was the word.
Somebody who
that was
knows.
the word on the course
He is
yesterday.
stealing your looks.
Yeah.
Your-
Watch me when I get my ricochets.
I think.
and
Oh my
think
God,
I should
it's
try
a
that.
little-
Yeah.
No, but it's so
Pattern.
it was the mantra for the day. It was like
Yeah.
just when you're constantly checking in with yourself to say, am I going hard enough? And then you're like, no, I've actually like gotten into the comfort zone. Like I'm just cruising along, but push it.
Yeah.
And then you fall back, and then you push it, and you get into it, and it's just that constant like pushing yourself out there. And I felt like that pushed me along all day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You did well. And I felt like I was a little relentless in yelling at you yesterday, too. Like, even when he was coming into the finish,
At
I was,
all
like,
of us.
telling him that he had it at all of you. I was like, you have another gear. Like, you have another gear. Find it right now. Even if it's just for that last push in, like, find it now. Like, you have another gear. And that's what you need to keep moving towards
That's
your dreams.
exactly what I
So
need,
you
yeah.
had overall, you placed higher than you've ever placed. So you've got Wisconsin in another 8 weeks. All right, we'll get you recovered. We've already started that.
Yeah.
Amazing recovery food
Green
yesterday.
juice.
Thank you very much, me. All right, Troy, how was your swim experience? Like, did you care about wetsuit, not wetsuit? Do you have a preference?
I wasn't really worried about if it was wetsuit or not. Like Susan says, I was just wanting to know like what was it for to be prepared. Like just take the decision and go. I would love to be swimming without wetsuit. I feel better. I don't know why, but it was fine. Like at the beginning, I was just getting late into the lanes. Like everybody was just like ready to go. And then I start jumping people like to go really to the very front. So I was just like, excuse me, sprinting out from the bathrooms all the way through the front line. So I just got there. There was a lady by side, like in the spectator. So I just asked for what she has, like this water. I don't know who put her in there, but she was there. So I was just like with my goggles, and I was just like no touching the water, and we were on the lane. So these guys, like all the guys who were at the front there, were like all teammates. So everybody knows them.
The Everyman Jack guys?
Yeah, the
You
Everyman
probably-
Jack. So they were like, "Hey, yo, blah blah," and I was just like, "Oh shit, what I'm gonna do here? Like, who should I ask?" And so I saw this lady, and she gave me like water. I put water on my goggles, and I just put them on, and then boom, the race goes on. Like I didn't have any time just to breathe or do whatever. So
No warm up. You didn't do any
no,
warm up
I
at all?
didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I was just like this guy sprinted all the way out, and when I saw him, like was just like I'm gonna jump on his feet like as long as I can. So
essentially, your warm up was from the porta-john to the front of the
Yeah.
line. Okay,
from
that's not.
actually, it was from the bathroom to the front line.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a couple minutes
Yeah.
right there. Get
Yeah.
the heart rate going, get the blood moving.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
And I was getting my wetsuit on the way there. Like
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Nice. You were ready to go. So how did your swim go?
it was good. Honestly, like I didn't like it the second lap on the swim. For me, it was like super. I don't know how if it's right to say it, but it's just like super tricky because I was just like moving people. I was like honestly, I was just like really worried about like the old guys who were on the back part of the swimming. Because I feel bad like if I hit them like for a mistakes, like I don't want to be hitting people on the swimming, like even if I just trying to go faster. So I was just like careful with that. And then like at some points I feel like they were with me, like some people jumped like on my feet, and I was just like no, get out of here. So I was just like cruising, like pushing, and then like in the second lap it was just like so foggy, so you didn't see anything like in the front part to catch the buoy. So it was just like surviving pretty much, like just trying to guess the directions right. So the first lap it was perfect, like I love it, but the second lap I feel like it really slows down the timing and everything, because it was just like bunch of people that you have to be passing.
And BJ, you felt that same thing too, but you felt like it was different in Lake Placid. What do you think was the difference there? Like,
I don't know. Maybe the lake. Maybe because it's a lake. Mirror Lake is like super flat and calm, and I mean that's why they call it Mirror Lake. But I didn't feel the chop or the confusion as I did in the years that I've done Lake Placid. Lake Placid was, I think their two loops is pretty smooth, and actually I think they have the pros. They swim on the inside of the buoys to allow them different from the age groupers, which was pretty cool.
That's good. I think that's a good tactic.
Yeah.
Yesterday for me, like honestly, I feel like I was just like really like paying attention to don't be like passing people over them or just like not hit everybody. I got punched on my goggles, so I was just like surviving on that part.
yeah, so you said you got punched for the first time.
Yeah, but
so
like
did that knock you off your center a little bit?
Not really.
No,
I was
not
just
you.
like, oh shit, happen. So I was just like, keep going. It was fine. Yeah, it wasn't like that bad, honestly.
Yeah, so when it's an age group race like it was yesterday, maybe they should have like that earlier wave is like an elite swim wave, and that second lap you guys get to go like
On the inside.
you would on the pros.
Yeah.
That would be good feedback. That would actually be good feedback for
Even
the
if
race
the
director.
whole second lap was on the inside, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
They would follow along on
Yeah.
the inside,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I see what you're
You
saying.
don't even have to separate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so and how were your swim time? Was that kind of right on where you thought you were going to be? What'd you do? 58?
I did 57.
57. Susannah beat you.
Yes, I got checked on
I got chipped. You got chipped.
You got chicked. He's used to getting chicked. He's
Yeah.
training with Rainey.
Always.
Yeah.
It's quite of my stuff. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I will really love to go under the 57. I feel like I had more to do, but it was like really hard to get a pace in the second lap. The first lap I was like, I never struggled on the swim, honestly. Like I never felt like I was getting out of strength or something or losing form or something. I felt like always in control on the swim. Just those moments when I have to be like taking the head out of the water just to see where is more crowded or where I should go around, or that's like those pacings for those kind of change of pacing. I feel like it's really slows you down.
And in your training, BJ was saying how he's been practicing in the pool, like with sighting. Do you guys do that in your training?
Yeah,
with
we
your
do
team?
that a lot, and we do also a lot the water polo swimming. So
Yeah, you said you were doing that.
That helped me a lot for the like really look into the people and not slow down or not really stop at all. Yeah.
What about you, Susannah? Do you practice sighting, like in your training?
Only a little bit in that I do most of my, once May hits, I do 90% of my swimming outdoors, and so it's just naturally like, where is the other end of the pond? And then
Should say outdoors in a lake.
Yeah, outdoors in a
Not
lake.
in a pool.
Yeah.
Because California, the pools are all outdoors.
Right.
So
Right, we don't really have
once-
outdoor
yeah.
pools.
True.
once May comes around, like there's 2 different ponds that we hit, and it's just one of them's a 1.5 mile loop, and the other one's just a mile out and back. It helps a ton with sighting.
And the loop one has buoys throughout, so you sight at each buoy. So
That's
a
awesome.
good sighting practice.
So where is that, in case anybody's listening that lives in that area?
Yeah, so that's Upper Mystic Lakes in Winchester, and you jump in at Sharon Beach.
Cool.
Sandy Beach.
No, it's Sharon Beach,
Oh boy.
I think. Or Sandy Beach.
It's going down. I told you, this is a Smackdown. It's a Smackdown. We've got 3 couples.
Or we go to Walden Pond in Concord, which is
Yeah.
a nice half mile out, half mile back.
And then you write poetry. Billy writes poetry and then reads it to you when you're done.
And you can do a little run around a little path. It's very nice.
Awesome. All right. And then, well, let's just keep the mic on you, Susannah. So T1, that was something that people were panicking about too. Like T1 at the half Ironman, they didn't have the carpet all the way up. And so it was just, for me, it was super painful on my feet, like really, really painful. I had a ridiculously long trek up there because it's a good 1/4 mile from the end of the swim up to T1. And then once you get up to transition, do you have to go all the way around it like you did in the half?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you go all the way
It's
around
a 1/4
it.
mile, and it probably goes up 100.
Yeah.
100
And
feet
it
or
was
so
longer
in the
because the
1/4
water
mile.
level was
Yeah.
lower.
So how is that trek out of there for you?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, and I didn't know. I was like, where are there? I know there's gonna be wetsuit strippers here. Are they gonna do this at the bottom or at the top? And I thought, I really don't want to run up this whole thing wearing a wetsuit. I'm already gonna be very warm. And but when you get out of the swim, you start running up immediately. Yeah. There's no downtime for that. And I was like, get me out of this thing. So I kind of pulled to the side and took off my wetsuit and then ran to the rest of the way.
Because the strippers are, I think, at the bridge, right?
They
Under
were all
the
the way
bridge.
at the top of this big, long boat ramp.
Yeah.
So that worked fine for me. And then the rest of T1 was pretty standard. Go in, get your bike stuff, and go out.
All right, well then let's just keep it on you and go right to the bike. Like, was it chilly coming out of T1?
A little bit chilly. I was definitely concerned that it was going to be really cold, and I bought a windproof jacket the day before, and then we've been out doing, we went and did yoga with you guys, and we realized it gets so warm like really quick, like 8:30 hits and it's like boom, sunny, hot. And so I said, I'm just gonna go for it with this bike ride. And I was a little bit chilly to start, but then, especially because you're going downhill a lot to start, and but then I warmed up fine. It really wasn't an issue.
And how were the road conditions? Because I had said to you the day before that you might need a little bit of your New England riding skills.
Yeah.
How were the road conditions to you on the course?
Yeah, definitely use the New England riding skills. It was just a lot. There were some very, very nicely paved, nice smooth road parts, and then there's just a lot of really old pavement because you're just going through all these different roads amongst the wineries, and so it's just like a little bit not gravelly, but rough pavement. So parts where as biking is definitely my weakness, and so there's parts where I'm okay, comfortable in aero, and parts where I'm not. But they had marked some of the bad parts. And
so you had mentioned something to me yesterday when you were experiencing some pain on the bike, and I'd like you to share how you navigated that. Please.
Yeah, being in aero a lot, and that was definitely my goal to do as much aero as I could, and my neck started to hurt a bit, and that was kind of trickling down my back. And I remember, Jess, you always saying, once you start to feel some pain or something going on in your body, to take that realization that you're feeling a sensation, and it's going to be how you're dealing with that sensation. Are you going to just say, oh, this is pain, this is hurt, it's bad, or like, this is the sensation I'm feeling, and I'm going to move through it, and it's going to be okay. And so I realized, like, you know what, I'm having some sensation when I'm in aero, and, luckily there's some bumps, and I'm going to come out of aero here and there, and that really helped me get through the whole bike with feeling that off and on sensation. And, a couple moments I was like, is this going to really hurt me running? Am I going to feel this running? And I said, nope, running is going to be fine. Like I won't feel any back pain when I'm running. And then I was fine.
Yeah. See, I was saying that to you this morning. You gotta choose your words really, really careful in this life.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Matt who posted a question, and I'm gonna ask it to all of you guys. But how did you judge your bike effort yesterday? Did you use heart rate? Did you use something else? Did you even have a plan of what you were gonna do?
Yeah, I thought I had a plan, and
Love it.
Billy and I, we've done a lot of my long rides together and thinking about I want my heart rate range to be here, and it can come up to a little bit of this and the climbs. And I was about 20 beats per minute higher than intended for pretty much the whole ride. And I knew, like, coming off of the, out of the swim and especially running straight uphill for a few minutes that my heart rate would be high. And eventually by the end of, like, literally 6 hours later, it, like, got mostly back into a semi-reasonable range. But I was like, I feel smooth and in control. Maybe my watch is just 20 beats higher off. And so I'm just going to keep going at this effort level because it felt fine. And I knew I wanted to have a strong bike for me and kept at it.
Well, you were pretty, before the race, you're like, I'm going to keep it at 135 for the bike ride. Like, it doesn't matter. And, if it has to go up to 150, 155, a couple places, then you'll be fine and get it back down. And then after the race, she looks at it and she's like, yep, I averaged 155 for the whole bike ride.
Which means you were above.
145.
Oh, sorry.
I was above it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, like, this is the feedback she's getting, and just how you can process things on the fly. Like, maybe that's wrong. Maybe, like, this is how I feel right now. I'm gonna embrace that and just take it how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that BJ talks about that a lot. Like, you gotta be flexible with it, but I don't think that you can be flexible with your plan and truly be skillful about it if you lack body awareness.
Right.
That's the key thing.
It's so key. It's so key. We actually have a really good podcast coming up with Lucho, and we talk a lot about this, because if you were really stuck on that number, your bike would have been so much longer.
Yeah.
It would have been so much longer. And then you ran amazing. You ended up placing second in your age group. Just unbelievable. So, all right, Beej, what was your strategy for the bike? Let's back up. How was your exit, your swim exit?
I had a great swim exit.
Yeah?
I was surprised at the width of the carpet, though.
Oh my God, it was like a landing strip. Well, like, it was like this tiny little patch.
I thought they were going to
carpet,
carpet the road. Would have.
It was like a couple dish towels put together.
Yeah, it was about 3 feet wide, maybe. But I didn't know where the wetsuit shippers were either. But I didn't even have a plan for that. I was like, I guess I'll just see him when I see him. I was just thinking about that now.
I'm not running up that with a wetsuit. Nope.
Well, we had talked about that before.
Yeah.
That was part of the plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got up to transition, got my bag, and out on the bike felt really good. I didn't wear a watch. This whole thing, I don't wear a watch because I just want to go out and race. So I didn't know what my time was. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything until a woman said it was 2:45 in the afternoon, and then I started like doing some math in my head.
As soon as I saw you on the run and you went past and I yelled something at you, I realized that what I was supposed to yell at you was the time of day. You were like, if you can just let me know what time of day it was, and then I never told him at all what time of day it was the entire time. I just kept telling him to go faster.
Wow. I can't believe you did that whole thing without.
Well, I have the Garmin on my bike.
Oh, okay.
So I did use that.
Oh, you were using.
So
Yeah.
that's.
But I really don't have anything. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say on the bike, it's been new for me. Like, power is new for me, and training, going out and doing this ride 2 weeks ago, gave me some insight into what my outdoor power would be, and and I just sort of stuck to this number. I don't know why, that number plus like 10 beats, because I think I was talking to you. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go, 180 to 200. I was at 190. I pegged 193 normalized power for like the whole ride. But my strategy for the ride was just to go hard. Like, just go hard. And again, the mantra came in of be relentless. Like, every time I shifted down, I thought about be relentless, and I shifted back up.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And it happened a lot, and I get really swollen from the shifting. So I may have to look at these digital shifters. But my hand, you can see how swollen it is right there.
Injury.
You got awesome thumb muscles.
Oh, the sunburns, yeah.
You're gonna have to post a picture of those thumb muscles.
I know, but they're out of shape. He needs to become a massage therapist. Give me a lot of massage. So to answer Matt's question, what did you use to gauge your bike effort?
I gauged effort. You know, I had normalized power there, and I probably looked at it, I don't know, like once every hour or so, just to make sure things were in check. But really, it was like effort. Like, am I going hard? Am I going hard?
And what would you say that effort was, scale of 1 to 10?
Like an 8 at a scale of 1 to 10.
And so you're feeling sensation the whole time.
I felt sensation right from the start.
And so what were there times where you thought, oh God, how am I going to run with so much?
Yeah, so that's another thing that brought, I was like, am I going to be able to run? Am I going to be able to run? And that thought constantly goes, and my habit is to always, I want to come off that bike flying. Like, I love the run. Like, this is the thing I need to do. I love to do. And I had to keep coming back and say, like, this race is not about the run.
Yeah.
Today's not about the run. Today's about pushing on the bike and just seeing what run fitness you have off of that bike.
Yeah.
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 And it proves and when you do that and you risk that a little bit, now you know where you stand. Now you know where you can do the work. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Troy, so you're coming out of the water with the leaders.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 out of the water, like,
Nice.
and they were all together again, like
Every man jack.
they were chatting, going uphill, like talking to each other, like good job, man, like. And I was behind them, like.
All by yourself.
I don't have any friends here. So yeah, and I never thought about the
so
people
Troy stopped
who.
for a cry.
Yeah. I cry under the bridge, let them go, and then I'll catch them. Yeah.
Get him some friends.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I never thought about the guys from the who helps you to take out the wetsuit. Like, honestly, it never crossed my mind. Like,
So you
never.
just ran up.
I was running, and then I saw the people, and I just like.
It's the best. They just whip that thing right off you.
And they, how you say, like when they try to pull out, they drive me like
You need some weight.
on the carpet. And I was just like, shh, like, hey, hold on. Yeah.
They're like whipping you around like a little rag doll.
Yeah.
So he got punched and then dragged.
Okay.
So good after all.
Punched and dragged, and he's
And
not even on the and he's not even on the bike
Stripped
yet.
and dragged.
Yeah.
So how did your bike go? What was your strategy for the bike?
Well, I just wanted to really be pushing that wall, like B says, like for me it was just like I knew that if I have a really good ride, I will have like a really great run, because bike is quite challenging for me, because all the people who are good riders are big guys, you know. So I'm petite, which means it's quite hard for me, like be pushing big numbers.
Especially on a flat course like this, right? Like you're a really good climber, I would think.
Yeah. So since I started the ride, I was just like trying to catch people, and that happened in the first downhill. So at the downhill, I was just feeling like really confident and really happy how I was so far in the 3 first miles of the bike the day going, because I started catching like maybe from the T1 till the very end of the downhill, I catch like 5 guys, different guys. Yeah.
Nice.
And really big guys. So I was just like, okay, this is a good day, because I'm going downhill really fast and I'm catching them. So then I didn't see anybody in the front. So I was just like, okay, I'm getting closer to the leaders, because it's not nobody here. Mm-hmm. So I just like keep pushing. And I was like attacking every single uphill, like pretty much all out, like attack, because I knew that was like quite of advantage for me if I really get a good gap on those uphills, rather than the guys who are not really good climbers.
Yeah.
So it was like trying to compensate those flats versus my uphills. So I was just like pushing, and I was catching more people on the uphills also. So I was just like, and then in the first U-turn, I was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I was just like, oh shit, I'm 5. 5 overall. Okay, this is good. This is great for me because I know in the run it's gonna be interesting. So I was just like, no, don't. And then I start thinking about the run, like in the very first part of the bike, and I was just like, no. There's no place for the run yet. It's the bike. It's a long day, so stay in the bike. I was in the moment, just paying really much attention on the cadence, and that's it. Like I didn't have any more plans for the bike. Just trying to be like every single second, like pushing that wall like over and over.
So gauging your effort, were you using any data for your effort?
No, just cadence. Just
Keeping
being like super carefully with my range of my cadence. My effort for me, like perceived effort for me, I was trying to stay in between 8 and 9 out of 10 on the bike. 8 and 9.
And what are you trying to keep for a number on cadence?
Between 80, 86. Yeah.
Nice.
That's quite on my race cadence. So I was just trying to stay in that zone.
And so something happened to you on the bike that could have really thrown you off. You got stung by a bee, right?
Yeah. Well, I for me it was like, I feel like the bike, it was quite tricky, I will say, because I had to stop like 3 or 4 times on some roads because there wasn't any directions, and I had to ask to the police officers who were there, and they were, when they saw me just stopping, and then I just asked them, they were like, oh, this way. So I was just like, okay. So just like sprinting out from that stop, trying to not get catch from anybody, and just trying to be like, again, on the momentum of the bike, like getting that speed again. So it was like 3 times that. And then in one turn, there was the same thing. There was a police officer, but he wasn't in, like, covering the turn that we having to take. He was on the other side, and it was like 2 turns, like consecutive ones, like one straight parallel to the other one. So I went to the first turn because there wasn't like, it was like for me like the like what you have to do, and there was a car coming in the front. So I was then I stopped and I did a U-turn. And then come to the other one, and then the police officer, it's the second one. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I just realized that. So that, it was like quite tricky for me, that, because it happens like 3 times that I really remember. And then in the last part of the first loop, I got stung by a bee.
And you're allergic to bees.
Yeah, I'm really, really bad allergic to bees.
So you had all these opportunities to like get pissed. Like, come on, the course isn't marked well.
Yeah.
Now I got stung by a bee.
Yeah.
Like, how do these things how do you roll with them?
Well, there's one thing that she and the philosophy that we have on the team. We always say that race day is celebration time. It's a day to celebrate all the hard work and everything that you've been working every single day to come together on the same day. So I will say every adversity, it's just get more like, like that flavor to the hard day, like there's never a perfect race or perfect day. I wouldn't like. It might be out there sometime, but it's never easy to get it. So when I was like in those kind of situations, I was just like joking with myself, like, "Oh, come on, Troy, do the things right. Oh, that was so obvious, man. It wasn't the first one. Oh, come on." So I was joking with myself, laughing about it and everything. I was telling Elizabeth yesterday that there was like this old lady watering her garden, like in the part of the forest of the bike. This huge house, beautiful house, and she was like watering. And then she looks at me, and I look at her when I was climbing, and I say, "Hey, that's a really nice place to live. I like your garden." And she was like, "I know, right?" And I was just like, yes. So yeah, I was really just like enjoying it. And about the bee, it was just like when I got stung by the bee, I was like, at the first part, I started like panic, like for maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And I was just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Because I didn't know how I will react at that moment. But then after, I was just like, okay, whatever happens, I just let it go. Like if I have to stop because I get like the the allergy is so bad, somebody will help me, and I get like medical assistance. And if I stop now, I will be really regretting at the end of the day, like, shit, it wasn't that bad, like how it ended. So
So you just kept rolling with it, kept taking like another pedal stroke, and
Yeah.
okay, I'm still fine. And same thing with it getting punched in the face on the swim. It's like, all right, I got punched in the face, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like it's not like we're going for the Oscar out there, right? Like you don't have to make this big dramatic show about everything that's happening and we were talking about this at the awards ceremony, it's all like leakage of your energy, and you need all of that energy for what's coming next, which is the run. Now, let me just make sure I haven't missed anything yet. There's the plan, and then we had another. Oh, yeah. Okay, those are other questions, so that'll be good afterwards. All right, so, Susannah, back to you. You come off the bike. What was your bike time?
5:51.
Nice, dude.
I was so stoked to be under 6 hours.
That was killing us because you were 20 beats higher than you should have been. But that's the thing, like you would have limited yourself. And this is what we talk about. We get so attached to our data that we can really keep ourselves in the cage and limit ourselves when we should be celebrating what's happening. I love that strategy of just like it's celebration day, that's the mindset. So when you came off the bike, how were you feeling starting that run?
Pretty good. I was so stoked because I had Billy and other friends and my another family friend that lived in Santa Rosa happened to get there just in time to see T2 and was cheering like mad. And so I was just so happy seeing all these people and waving, and made sure I got sunscreen. And I felt great starting to run, and I think I was amped to have a really good bike split, which I was, as I was biking, I'm like, I'm not worrying about the run. Like, it's a great bike. I'm going to have a great run. And I was definitely started off a bit fast, but I felt very smooth and in control, and my heart rate felt very, very much fine. So starting the run was good.
You had a fast T2.
I had a pretty fast T2.
Really fast.
I'm
It was
usually
like 4
pretty
minutes.
slow
I think it was under 4 minutes.
Under 3, maybe. I don't know what it was.
You were in and out. You remember you yelled to me going in the tent. You're like, I'll be right out.
I'll be right back. Hope so.
It's like, I know. Go do it.
Yeah, you have to. Actually, you have to.
I'll be right back. Yeah. It was so nice. I've never given my bicycle to somebody.
That's pretty cool.
That was great. And then, do you want me to talk about the run?
Yeah, let's talk about your run.
Okay. Running is definitely a big strength for me after swimming. And the run was just so nice. There's a lot of shade. The aid stations were really great. And it was fun because the run had a whole bunch of different overlaps or out and back. So I would see all friends at all these different points. And then there's also points because you're on 2 sides of the Santa Rosa Creek, where you're just on your own with people going in the same direction. And then you get to cross the bridges a couple of times. That was fun, but it was mostly pretty flat, so I was able to stay a really even pace and just pretty much be a slow fade, which was fine for me for an Ironman run.
Yeah, but you still, what did you run? Like a 3:30?
3:37.
Yeah, nice. So do you feel, so you kind of felt like you had a little bit of a slow fade on the run?
Oh yeah, definitely that third loop, the last 10K was hurting a lot. And I just, Billy and I had talked about, he's like, a slow shuffle is a lot faster than walking. Yeah. So I just said, I just have to keep moving forward. And eventually the third loop was getting pretty crowded at the aid stations, and so I was just taking whatever cup of liquid was available so that I wouldn't have to slow down too much, but I was making sure that I was taking things in, and I think that slowed me down a little bit, but I knew that I definitely needed it at that point, and just to keep moving forward. Yeah.
So let's just move into a couple other questions that we have, and then I'll take this through the other guys too. What nutrition did you take in throughout the race? And then I have another question, but let's just deal with that one right now. What kind of, and did that change? because I know you had a sugary drink that you really enjoyed that maybe you weren't planning on having. But yeah, tell me about your race nutrition, like start to finish. What was the plan and how were you flexible, if anything?
Yeah, sure. I definitely try to do whatever they have on the course. And there's a new like Gatorade line. I hadn't even tried that before, but I was like, I'm not really too worried about it. So I drank the Gatorade that they handed out, which the new Gatorade, it's their more natural flavor. It tasted like orange juice.
Yeah.
Did you have that?
Yeah.
It was like
Really
bad
good.
orange juice, but it was fine. And then eating wise, I have like a honey stinger waffle every hour. And I have one as soon as I get on the bike. And then one at each hour after that. And then I also eat a few bananas throughout the bike ride too. And those are these like dried banana with like a coating of coffee sugar flavor. It's really good. Works for me. That's what I
Fancy.
practice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I practice with all of my long rides. And it's great because the waffles, I can fit 7 of them in my little box on my bike. So I don't have to get anything from my jersey, and put in some little banana bites in there too. And so everything is just right there. So I really liked having that.
Did you have any stomach issues at all? Any issues like were you just couldn't put anything in, or?
No, I was doing fine. I definitely don't think I hydrated enough, seeing as I didn't go to the bathroom at all during 10 and a half hours.
That's a sign. What were you taking in for liquids?
So pretty much just Gatorade on the bike and a little bit of water. And then on the run...
Well, tell them about the Gatorade.
Oh, there was a little bit of a...
I don't want to bash on the volunteers because they're awesome.
Yeah, volunteers are great. But the volunteer that handed me my first Gatorade at the second aid station, it's those long Gatorade bottles that have the twist off sipping cap, but you have to totally untwist the cap and take off the seal in order to drink off it. A volunteer handed me a Gatorade that didn't have the seal removed. So I'm, unscrewing it with my mouth to drink some, and I'm like, it's not coming out. I'm like, what? Why is there no Gatorade? And I realized that this thing is still sealed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's really bad.
And I was like, well, and it was just in time for me to, last ditch of trash at that aid station. I was like, well, I'm not going to stop and try to get the seal off and seal it back on. My bike handling is not that great. So I ditched that, and I was like, man, I hope they've, told the volunteers to take off the seals of this thing, or else they're going to be handing sealed Gatorade to people all course. Next aid station, I was like, all right, well, let's see what this one is. And it was unsealed, and I could drink, and then I didn't have any problems after that.
And there's on the bike course, there's an art to how to pass off those water bottles. The best way is to just kind of have your palm open. When they're hanging on to it, just because you're going in there, a pretty good clip. And then the impact, right, of trying to grab that bottle. But I've had them, they took the seal off and everything, but they didn't screw the cap on very tight, so I went like this, and I was just covered in orange high fructose corn syrup back when there was the old recipe. Well, I think that's good, and then we're gonna go back through for a final question with everyone. Beej, tell us about the run, my man.
Yes, finally got to the run, and it was...
There was another guy that was disguised as you.
Yeah.
I was cheering for him every time.
And he was Portuguese. He was talking in Portuguese.
Same kit.
It's not the first time. People have dressed up as BJ for Halloween before.
People have shaved their legs for me.
Yeah.
To be me.
So this is not the first time, but it was the first time in Ironman someone's disguised as you. But the real you, how did that? We don't know how his run went, but how'd it go?
The run was a challenge right from the start. I got out there, my legs were toast. And usually when your legs are toast, you can sort of work through it a little bit and get into your run. You get into your run and then okay, it's not that bad. And right from the start, it was just a struggle to get the turnover in the legs without the quads just screaming at me. So it's big change in experience from what I just did at the last Ironman, where it came off and I felt great for the entire marathon. So, and I expected it. So then
What was the difference in that bike split? Because I feel like
it's like a 20-minute bike difference.
Like a 20-minute bike difference. And what was the run difference in your results?
About half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just embraced it. It was another opportunity to learn on the run, like how my body's performing. Am I going to give up? And to Susannah's point, like, just keep going, just keep moving forward. And I learned that in Lake Placid, I think 2 years ago, when it was super, super hot. And my goal was just to keep moving on the run. Like, keep moving on the run. Don't worry about where you're placing, because you're a good runner, even though you're not running your pace, like, you're still moving forward at whatever the pace is, and other people are falling off. So that attrition is just like happening. And I felt the same thing yesterday, because I felt it was warmer for the people who weren't experienced in pushing the bike too hard, just like I did, and getting to that run. And I just felt if I kept moving, I would keep increasing places. I never saw anybody in my age group until like the very end. I kept seeing every age group,
but you
my
passed
age
people
group.
because you progressed.
Yeah, I passed a few people.
You had the
I didn't progress.
You had the right progression.
progression.
You had the right progression
Yeah.
throughout, from the swim to the.
Yeah.
You went like 24 to 18 to 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
So
fighting.
it didn't move
was
too much.
awesome
It was
to see. You were digging deep.
Oh my God! Did you see him at
It
the
was
end?
so impressive. Yeah, it was incredible to watch. I saw him. I was around one of the corners, and when I saw him come around the corner, I knew he was just in the battle and he was fighting.
He
It
was
so
totally
cool.
in the battle.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw you come around the corner, and then you had one more turn to the chute. Like, you came around that corner, I was like, it was an interesting gait that you had going on. I managed to capture a picture.
Interesting gate.
I managed to capture a picture of you that looked pretty damn awesome. But I was like, whoa, you were just like running scared. Like, you had this center point in your body that was your torso, and then you just had these limbs that were like windmills.
This is
Yeah, Susannah's doing a great impression right now. I knew like you were hurting, and then I had to yell to go faster.
But
that's
you didn't
when
give
I-
up. That's the coolest thing
Yeah.
about it, though. Like, though you were hurting and you were in the struggle, like, you never gave up on yourself and like caved to that. And it was so awesome.
We were talking about pain a day before the race, VJ
Yeah.
and I asked him, because anytime you're physically active, you start to feel pain. That's the first thing that starts to get to you. Like, my knees hurting, my toe, even my ear, like you start to have all of these thoughts. And I told him, I always feel so negative about it if I'm like, I block them. I'm like, no, I don't have to accept this pain. It's bad if I'm thinking about pain. And he told me, you shouldn't block those feelings. You need to accept them. That way you let them go and you'll like flow with it. Because you're always going to have those feelings. Don't block them, accept them, let them go, feel them, embrace them, and just like go.
Yeah, feel that sensation.
Yes.
Because if you block it out, it's always going to be there.
Exactly. Just feel it.
It's gonna fester, and then it's gonna like blow up at some point, either like in somebody's face, or it's gonna come out as like an illness or an injury or something like that. All that stuff. Believe me, I was a festering queen. I used to let everything fester, and then I was like, psycho girl. So it's so much better just to be like what Susannah was doing. Like, okay, I'm experiencing sensation, and it sounds like such bullshit talk,
But
it's
that's what it is.
It's really, really powerful. It's very, very powerful to just see it.
Like the trail, like Troy was talking about, like people were complaining about the rocks and the
Oh my
trails
God,
and stuff.
I love that.
It's just a sensation on your feet. Like if you say it's gonna suck, like this hurts, and it's gonna hurt and it's gonna suck. But if you just say, I just gotta do this now, just just run and just keep moving.
Yeah. So you were running scared. We all saw it.
I was running scared, and when I finally saw an age grouper, that little bridge we cross over. Right before I saw you, there's like a little bridge and you come around the corner and then you go out for the second lap. That's where I saw two people who were in my age group, and I didn't know if they were on their second
Gotta
lap.
love
And
that.
that's when I was running. I was just like, I'm just
that.
gonna run. Like, I'm gonna cruise past them.
Scared's the right word, though. Man.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I think you're right, Billy. It's not.
It was just. I don't. I don't know if I describe it as scared. It was like
You were just
you were in the
running
zone,
through
dude.
it.
Like
yeah.
you were like, it was cool to see. It was.
You were sitting in the hurt and
I was in the
and
hurt,
still
yeah.
getting
But
it done.
you weren't faltering at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to elaborate more.
I went out and ran on the course this morning, and I saw it's just sticking with me, and I saw on the path somebody had written. And now that I think of it, it might actually have been like the electric company, but it said loose electricity. Now I think about it, maybe it was like, but the way I interpreted it was like, oh my God, this is kind of like what I talk about with like this powerful calm. It's like just staying loose and like you've got so much electricity in your body and so many like nerves that are firing and all of the shit that's going down. And can you just stay kind of loose around all of that? And I feel so, yeah, I don't know if that was the electric company or somebody, or if there's some other. There's some other mindful person out there that had just different words for what I call like that powerful calm, which is really I think what you were showing. So, what did your nutrition look like?
Nutrition is pretty
start to beginning, start
pretty,
to end.
Pretty standard. You know, I before the swim I had a banana, and then on the bike it's pretty much Amarita bars the whole way, every hour, and then supplement bananas on the half hour. And then this time I threw in a nice chocolate coconut goo.
Oh, that one is so good.
So
you had Troy had one of those too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good.
They are.
The goo brand?
Yes.
Oh.
Chocolate coconut. And there's another one, salted watermelon, that I actually really like.
It's really good.
I take so few gels now that they're actually kind of like a treat.
It was a treat. I had it at mile 70, 75.
Yeah.
And I started the loops.
I mean, it's no
Maybe like
cacao
80.
hazelnut frosting that's coming out in our cookbook. little plug for the cookbook promo. But it is pretty good, so you can get some of that.
Indeed. Like Troy always, when he's setting up his things, he tells me to help him, right? To fill his bottles with the gels and stuff. And it's always like a treat for me. I'm like, yay, because I get to fill the bottles and then I'm like licking them and I'm like, okay, this is good.
She
Okay,
was like,
you should have this.
this flavor is really good. She just put it in a bar and then she's like, not that good. This is good. Salsa, not good.
She's like your official taste tester.
Yeah.
I love it.
The game I play is I try to have a variety of the waffle flavors, and so when I take one out, I try to think like, oh, which flavor was this one? And then I'm like, oh, I think it was like the caramel one, and I pull the next one out. I'm like, no, this is the caramel. Maybe the other one was coffee. And
That's good.
game.
You're giving your mind something to do.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
It's like you include your mind in the program. It's like, okay, mind, let's have a little game here so that you're not festering on the sensation that I'm feeling in my neck. All right, so that's how your bike went down, nutrition. What'd you do on the run? Because you have been just doing Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to talk about your Coke. Susannah took some Coke and loved it.
I hadn't had soda.
It might be the only reason she does another Ironman. Because she hasn't had... Because you have Coke again. Yeah, so what did you do on the run, Beach?
Coke again. Coke.
The whole time?
I had Coke almost every aid station.
Did you take a banana out of T2?
I did, and then I chucked it because I didn't eat it by mile 2 because I just wasn't feeling like the banana.
Yeah.
Again, flexibility.
So you
Wait.
Wait, you carried a banana
Yes.
for 2 miles?
Yep, because I thought I was going to have it.
Dude,
That's
like
sticking.
10 seconds.
Wait.
That's sticking with it.
And then mile 3, I grabbed the banana and started eating it because I felt like that was the time to eat it.
Or it was just the right banana.
It was the right... Yeah, it could have been the right
Holding
banana.
a banana for 2 miles, it'd be mushy and warm.
Yeah, I don't know what I was
Banana
thinking.
bread at that point.
I wasn't very sharp.
Is that the banana that was on the counter? Oh, no, because you checked it.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
a black banana on the counter this morning. Clark had it for breakfast.
And then I had orange wedges every like 6 or 8 miles. Like just that flavor in the mouth just really like flushes things out. And then actually tried base salt. Or not tried base salt. I tried it in Louisville. But I had base salt and I don't think I had anything else. It was really just cola. Cola's been the go-to.
How do you think you did on nutrition? Would you have changed it at all?
No.
You regret chugging that banana?
No.
And
No.
what do you drink on the bike?
Oh, Scratch. I use Scratch. So yeah, I in the past I have used Gatorade, and I'll probably investigate the new flavor, but the other one was getting to me. So I use Scratch. I have 3 bottles on my bike to start, and then 3 bottles in special needs, and I pick those up. And so I have 6 bottles, and then I supplement with water. And every aid station on the bike, I would pour water over my head. That was key, because even if it's not that hot, you still need to cool yourself off.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
How do you handle stopping in special needs? Is it?
I stop the bike.
Yeah. Fully
Get off. Get
Gotcha.
1 foot out. Get what I need. I really have limited stuff in special needs bags. It was like the 3 bottles.
Gotcha.
And some chamois cream. And
Just
then
curious.
and then out because you can spend some time there. You see the porta-johns and I'm like, I could go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I hadn't gone to the bathroom yet.
That's it.
And I was like, maybe I should go. But it was about mile 80. This is cool. About mile 80 on that first loop out. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I hadn't gone yet. Usually about 2 times on the bike is pretty standard. And I had this new kit, and I leaned over to the side. I kept trying to find spots where I could like go to the bathroom, like while riding. But this time I was just like, I just gotta go. So I went in my pants, as you should do, and the way that this kit is designed, it kind of like the stream kind of came right out. So it didn't like get on my bike gear. It didn't get on it was like awesome. It was like a perfect spot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't have to wash off too much.
No. I could sip my water bottles. It was still
So
okay.
it's penis friendly.
It was penis friendly. Penis friendly kit.
Gotta love a PFK.
Yeah.
Gotta love a PFK.
That's good.
That's awesome. So that was the Kiwami. The
Pee friendly kit.
The
It's
Kiwami
labeled.
pee friendly kit.
So you
Love
made
it.
up spots on the run.
I went from 24 to 18 to 14. So 4 spots on the run.
Awesome.
Yeah. Climbing your way.
But those used to be so much wider.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
That's awesome. That's a
Yeah.
great feeling when you make up spots on the run. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've had races go both ways. Where
yes,
it's like
yeah.
you just see yourself go fade further and further back, and then I don't know. I kind of tend to judge my races on how many spots I make up on the run because
Yeah.
that's where you have
Yeah.
to dig the deepest, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Troy, let's move it to you. Let's talk about, what are we even talking about? Oh, the run. Did we talk about the run?
Yeah, we talked about the run.
I've lost, what's that?
My nutrition.
Yeah, your nutrition.
Run.
And the run.
And the run.
Yeah, and the run.
Well, before the swim, I just got a Goo gel before. No caffeine for me, because otherwise I start like feeling like anxiety in the swimming whenever I drink caffeine before swimming. So just that, and then in the bike I just have this time I tried like some kind of different thing.
No baby food.
No baby food.
No baby food.
No, it was like quite of a
grown-up
different.
man.
It was I'm an old man now. Yeah. So it was like a quite of different thing because I didn't want it to stop on the special needs because sometimes I feel like Beach says like you stop for a long time. So this time I just put like gel like in my aero drink, all my gels for 2.5 hours around it on the bottle, and then 2.5 hours in the other bottle, and just 1 electrolyte on the bike. So 3 bottles on the bike, and that was it. So every 20-15 minutes or whenever I feel like I wanted to eat or start thinking negative stuff or whatever, or struggling, I just drink on the aero drink and just filling up with the other bottle. So that was it.
So you don't have to deal with, this is really smart. Like you don't have to deal with packaging or anything like
Nothing.
that. All your gels are already
Everything's
taste
in there.
tested.
You have the straw and it's just like sip, 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 sip.
Yep.
You don't even
How
move.
often do you do that?
Every 15-20 minutes. I get a sip from the aero drink, and whenever I see that it's going like way too low, the level of the drink that I have in, I just refill it with the other bottle that I have on the frame on the bike.
Okay.
So that's what I did. But now I'm like I was thinking yesterday, maybe in the run, like in the second loop, I started to have like some like empty stomach feeling. So maybe I will add to that like something solid to the last part of the run or of the bike, just to compensate that empty feeling. Because I can be feel it like all day by gels. Like that's not a trouble for me. I've been finding like really friendly these new Goo gels, like we were saying, like this little tastes really good, and it's not that I don't feel like it's that aggressive to your stomach.
Yeah, I like Goo.
Yeah, so that was for the bike. What I found, it's this new flavor or new formula or whatever it says, the Gatorade one. it's a really good one because always I have like some issues on my stomach whenever I start drinking, like over drinking Gatorade. And this time I was like quite afraid on the last part of the bike because I was getting out of electrolytes on my last bottle that I had. So this time I was just like, oh well, this is what we have, so let's just drink it. Otherwise, it will be worse. So I started drinking it, and it was like any trouble at all. So I didn't feel like anything bad on my stomach. I did the same, like, and in every single aid station, water, like even like 2 water bottles, like just one in my kit, like spread it all around, like, and the other one just like all around inside my kit and everything, just throw it to the trash can and just keep going, like every single, like you said, it wasn't feeling that hot, but I didn't want it to get to that point. So
You have to start cooling off on the bike.
Yeah,
You have to start cooling off before you're hot.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did it like pretty much on the last part of the bike,
Yeah.
because in the first part I was just like trying to be like breaking apart from the back who was behind us.
And then what did you take in for the run?
For the run, I took like, I think it was like 8 gels, like with me, and I was taking one aid station, 1 gel, and the other one just water and ice. The one gel, the other one just water and ice.
So you've taken a good amount of calories
Yeah.
on the run. Well,
Yeah.
and I think it's reflective of the effort that you're putting out.
Yeah,
'cause-
it was quite interesting on the run, because the first part of the run, I was coming out of T2, and I think I was fourth starting the running. But then this guy from the timing came to me, and he was running beside me and telling me like, hey man, you are fourth guy out of the run for running, but you are actually the third guy, because on the timing for the Rolling Stars you are the third guy, and the leader is 7 minutes ahead of you.
Yeah, the leader had a lead the whole time.
So he says, but he was 9 minutes on the bike.
Yeah.
First. So when he was running, he quite slows down for the first part. That's where I just got like a shorter gap. Mm-hmm. And then he says, but the second place, it's just 1 minute from you. So then I just decided like, this is like, it's now the time to just see as hard as I can, as far as I can, just like not even thinking to slow down. So I just went for it like all out, not all out, but a good pace that I.
What would you
can
say your
have.
effort was?
10.
So
Yeah.
maybe all out.
Yeah. Well, for me, all out, it's that just like when you cannot breathe and you cannot just do anything and not even think clearly. I was just like 10 maybe, or 9.8.
And how soon is it that you? Because when we first saw you, I think coming back from the first loop, you were in third, and then when you came back to start the third loop, you were in second.
Well, pretty much I was hunting that guy, honestly. I was just like trying to play smart, hard and smart at the same time, because I was looking at him. Like I never saw the first place till the second loop, the first place overall. So when I saw I passed the fourth guy, well, the third guy, I passed him like not even in the first mile, like in before that. In the turn, I passed him there. And he was just like start walking over there. So I was just like, this is good. Like that fires me up. Like in that moment, I was just like, checkpoint, okay, keep going. So I keep pushing, and then there was a bunch of guys crossing that one bridge, and one of them, he was like, come on man, come on, these guys are like, I don't really remember the timing or whatever. He was like really cheering up, and he says like, those you look way stronger like than them, go catch them. And I was just like, okay, I got this. So I was just like, oh, go. But then in the second mile, I started like struggling so bad. Like I was like, in my mind, I was just like that little bad voice in your head that was saying like, stop, like getting out of breath slowly, and really hard to catch my pace that I knew that I have to be like. I feel really comfy on the running always. Like my running technique, I find it like pretty natural now that I've been working. But then I was just like really hard to get everything on the same thing. So I was just like, Jesus, this is not good. It's not even 2 miles.
So how did you come out of that?
I was just like staying at that moment, like staying in the moment, like trying to not think on that thing. Then I saw a guy with his dogs, and I was just like looking at them, trying to make fun of them, like, "Hey, buddies," and I was just like trying to keep busy my mind and stop thinking about that I was struggling at that moment.
Yeah, so redirecting your awareness.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the
it's
last
about.
part, I saw this guy that it was pretty funny because he was looking backward, and I was hiding to him like into the other side, and then he doesn't see me, and then I was to the other side. So he was.
Troy's like behind him, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So
He was. I was playing on that. He was like maybe.
He's like, I swear there's somebody right there. Where is it?
I hear something, but he's not here. Like, where is he? It was like
True
4
definition of
times.
hunting.
I know, it really is.
Jess and I were watching, and we were like excited, but we were nervous. And I was really nervous, and I was telling Jess, like, it's just 1 minute. Like, he's right there. I don't know if Troy is thinking, like, when should I pass him? When should I go? Because he's going to attack or something. You've mentioned that before to me.
Yeah, I was just
And
aware of that.
Jess, you turned to see me, and you were like so calm, and you told me, like, wait, like, would you rather chase or be chased? And I was like,
Chase.
chase. Okay, we didn't know what your answer would be.
Yeah, I was just like trying to catch this guy, and then when I saw him, that whenever I saw somebody looks backward, I know that I'm one step ahead of that whoever it is.
They're
like,
being chased.
because that's like body language that you know that you are just worried about what is behind and not
Don't
what
look
is at the
back.
front.
And he was looking back, like,
Don't
yeah,
look back.
He
Never
looked
look
back
back.
like 3 times consecutive times, and I was just like, not here, not here, not here, not here. But I was struggling at the same time, so I was pretty much like taking that energy
Yeah.
from him, like pulling myself to like closer.
But you don't show that struggle, too.
Yeah, I
You
was
were
just
saying.
trying to just
Love
like.
it.
no,
Poker
and
face.
that's something I said to you guys this morning. Troy, you race very much like Craig Alexander, who I know is like one of
Thank
your
you. Oh, I
mentors,
wish.
one of your idols. That was one thing I saw about Craig when he raced, and what I saw with you yesterday, like up close and personal. You are just completely expressionless, and you are just so stealth. You're just so strong, and like it didn't. You looked completely unshakable.
Yeah.
And that is so important for, like, if I was that guy turning around and, like, even though he never saw you, maybe you might want to let them see you because you look so unshakable.
Stone cold.
Yeah, like that guy might have just...
It's the reflective glasses and the flat brim, and it's
Yeah. He's got these mirror glasses and, like, this flat brimmed hat, and you're a total machine.
He was talking to guys early this morning, and they told him.
They
like,
told me
we
that.
saw you. We know you were there, and we were like kind of scared, right?
Yeah, the first guy told me. The first guy told me that I was just waiting for the moment to break through, like when whatever happens. But I knew you will be coming, like because we crossed 2 times the first overall guy, and we crossed 2 times exactly in the same time in different laps, the first and the second lap. We crossed in the same point, and we looked both. Well, I saw him. He was looking at me, and I was just like, I'm acting like you are not here. So I was just like focusing here, like 5 minutes ahead, and then I saw him that he saw me. So I was just like, that's 1 point to me because you are worried, like that you are showing me that you are worried. So I was just like, okay, I take that to my checkpoint. So I was just like, okay, that's good. But then the second lap, I saw that we were in the same point. So I started thinking like, shit, this guy it's same pace that I'm keeping the same pace. Let's see what happened in the 3rd lap. So we were, and he stopped it also when I stopped it. He told me like I stopped. I think he stopped on the same aid station that I stopped because I need to stop because the guys on the volunteers, it was like so many people in there. So I had to go take the stuff by myself and just keep going. So yeah, it was.
So when did you
interesting.
finally make the pass on the second guy, though? That was going into your second loop?
Yeah, starting the second loop, I passed him. Like when we got into the U-turn to start the second loop, in that part, I just take like that U-turn like sprinted all out. And when I sprinted all out, this guy was just like he clapped and he said like, "Good job, man." And then I said I wasn't gonna replay anything because I was just like trying to just keep like all the energy with me. But I just like give him a hand and say like, "Keep it up." So I just keep it up. And then when I did the U-turn to start going under the bridge, I saw that he was not that close, so he didn't try to keep the pace with me.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, now let's handle it. And that second loop, I think that was pretty much my gas, because I knew that guy was there. So I was just like pushing. And that second loop for me was the best part of the run. Like I felt absolutely great and in control all the way. Like no problem. That's when I saw you actually, and we were laughing when we crossed. So yeah, that second loop, it was amazing. But the third loop, I was just like struggling like so bad. The hot people, like you have to be like chasing people around, and it was pretty.
It's tight. The courses, the bike course, I mean the run course is
as
tight.
a participant to see where you were.
Yeah.
Like to kind, because that out and back is probably pretty convenient to be like, oh, how's he looking? Like,
Yeah.
turn the corner, how's he looking?
Yeah.
Like, you know, is he gonna show anything? Like, what's it like? So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, and I saw the people that they were trying to catch me, and when I crossed them, they were like, Jesus, like mad on the moment that I was just ahead. So I was just like, that was like my motivation at that moment, like saying like, okay, it's going great. Let's see how far this goes. Like, there's nothing sure, I think, out there any moment.
No,
No,
there's
you gotta
not.
constantly push.
All right, and so that leads us into our final questions, because you guys all want to get to a winery. So, and we had to catch you before the winery and not after the winery. What are you gonna say, Bailey?
It was watching you guys was bringing the spectator part of the game for the other three of us.
Yeah.
Like watching was just insane because all of you guys were dumping it all out on the run.
I know.
Like
All three
like,
of you
so
were such a joy to watch.
I gotta brag about my girlfriend for 2 seconds. She came off the bike 20 minutes behind. She came off the bike and started the run in 6th place, 20 minutes behind the leader. And every single split, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Every single split, she's like moving up, and I'm starting to do the math, and like I'm getting like jittery for her, and yeah, she ended up making up, I don't know, whatever it was, 18 minutes of that 20 minutes.
You never told me what place I was in either. I had no idea.
No idea. Well, I didn't want to shake you. You were the same way, because I can tell you're in the zone when the hat brim gets lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's the level of hat brim is the focus level. So the lower it gets, the more she's in the zone. That's just
Whenever you see it like backwards, it's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
I love it.
So just on the edge of the seat, spectating, and Jess and I, we were texting it. We were at different points of the course, and I would text you a picture of BJ coming up, like, oh, he's looking strong, keep it up. And then like 5 minutes later, I get a picture message from Sue, like of Sue's coming up.
I got a great picture of you like throwing up the high five.
That was
on
the best
run.
picture.
Isn't that
was
awesome?
Yeah,
so
She
good.
always looks so happy.
I know.
So
I know.
happy.
So strong.
But so happy.
She was like she was cruising.
She was.
enjoying it.
She was cruising.
cool.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to watch all of you guys race. So, Susannah, here's the final round of final questions.
Okay.
The lightning round. What was the most, and don't think too hard about this, just what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What was the most challenging part of your day, and how did you get through it?
Oh, definitely those last 6 miles of the run when I really started to hurt and it felt like every part of my body was starting to ache, and just moving forward and being like, I can't stop much at these aid stations. I have to keep going, because if I stop much, I'm going to stop for longer. Just getting through those last miles. And really, once you're at mile like 25, it's like, okay, then like I just got to get to 25, and then it's a mile left, and that's fine. But it was like that 20 to 25 that were really, really tough.
So how did you do it, though? How did you do it? What, like, go back to a moment.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
I just said, like, I have to keep moving forward, and I'm going to chew on ice because it tastes so great. And Coke. And just, and having you guys look forward to see at the different points in the course. And friends that I would see on the out and backs too. Looking forward, just thinking about those little things and like getting myself distracted. There was a guy like, pretending to be naked with a sign in front of him. And
I was pissed when I saw that. I don't
like,
know why. I got mad. When I saw him and he was laughing, I was just like, what are you laughing at? I'm struggling so bad in here. Like, no.
That's normal.
Yeah.
She liked a guy pretending to be naked. You don't.
It's funny. Just to keep pushing, and I knew it hurt so much, but I knew I was so excited at the same time because I knew I was gonna smash my goal of beating 11 hours, and I was like, I got plenty of time. Like, I'm gonna get there, and I'm just gonna like finish this.
And what was your final time?
10:36.
Wow. That's crazy. And she landed herself second place in her age group, 25 to 29?
Yep.
Nice.
29.
That's amazing. Beej, what was the most challenging part and how did you get through it, babe?
Most challenging was the first 6 miles of the run. Yeah. Oh, I knew I was in for a world of hurt. Those first 6 miles, the biggest challenge was not going ahead to think like all the other miles I have to run. It was like be in this like all I have to worry about is getting to mile 1, and then all I need to worry about is to get to mile 2.
Yeah.
And then I just started ticking these off. Like all I need to see is mile 3. And at the half, earlier this year, they didn't have mile markers at every mile. So
he was
gonna get lost.
Like my mind, he was like, "Are you playing with my mind or what?"
There was some
doing?
missing here.
Like,
There's some missing. At least
They were never lined up with my watch.
no, none at all. But that was the most challenging thing. Like I knew I put myself in a world of hurt, and so there were two things. It was keeping my mind present because going back to the past of like, why did I go so hard on the bike? Now I'm going to pay for it. And also look at how many miles I have to go and struggle through all of this pain in my legs or the swirly sensation in my legs. But it was again back to I'm dropping myself in these experiences to truly have the feeling of what it's like. I can talk all day about, yeah, sure, you're going to get to the run. It's going to hurt bad. Or I went out and ran a hard run in training and this is how it's going to be on race day. Like I did all the work. That's not how it is. You need to put yourself in these experiences, I feel, to truly, truly embrace where you are physically and mentally. And I think I learned a lot on that run.
Yeah, so that's actually a question from Liz, our athlete Liz. And I'm going to ask this next one to you and Troy because you guys have done Ironman before. But also Kath Tries wanted to know what you felt went well. So we talked about what went challenging, but what did you feel like went well yesterday?
What went well? I think my commitment to giving it a go. Like, get out there and race.
And what did you take from that? You said something yesterday that I loved. Remember
Oh,
it.
boy. You always do this.
I do this all the
All the time. And so we have these conversations, and she cuts them out all the time. But this is...
I don't cut them out all the time.
What is it?
You said you removed the doubt.
Oh, yeah. So you can constantly think about, like, what if. But what I've done is just put myself out there to feel it. And now I know. Now I know for a fact that this is the bike an effort that I can do, and this is the time. Now let's get to work and stop chopping away.
Nice. And then Mark, who was our podcast from the Ironman Louisville Roundtable Smackdown.
Yeah.
He wants to know what was the change in your race plan from previous races, and did it work better or worse?
That was the change. My other strategy is to take out the swim, moderate, conservative on the bike, and hammer the run. And that works well, but it doesn't get me the results that I need. So obviously things need to change. So yes, Mark, my plan did change for this race, and it will change for the next 2 races. And it was for the better. Absolutely.
How's it going to change for the next 2? You going to do the same thing?
no, I'm gonna. Well, I'm making changes based off of this race. So then
the strategy
but the
stays the
strategy
same.
will stay the same. I'm still gonna
You
go
better
hard.
believe it will.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, Troy, what was the most challenging part of your day?
It's a hard question. I think the last mile, like the 25 to the finish line.
Where Susannah was just cruising in. You
Yeah,
were like,
like,
oh my
Susannah,
God.
she was like,
Funny, everybody's got something different.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best thing about
BJ was
it.
well,
dancing.
like no, but like the mile from the start to the third mile, it was like really challenging for me. For the same time that B is saying, like it was, like I was thinking like, God, how many miles I have to go, and just like really wondering on these sounds in my mind that saying stop, 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 stop. And then in the last part, in the last mile, I was just like really just wanted to get it done, like really wanted it enough. And then I was just looking up and like starting even to lose technique on the run. So I was just like putting my head up and then looking what was ahead at that moment, instead of being like here in the moment what it was happening. So it was really challenging, that part for me, because my legs were pretty much flexing. Like I couldn't like really run like good. So
And so do you feel like you kind of lost your mind a little bit there and you were like in the future a little bit?
in the first part of the
No,
run?
in that last mile.
Oh no! In
Okay.
that last part of the mile, it was just challenging, like physically and
physically,
mentally.
okay.
Because I was just struggling, like my legs were flexing, and I was just like feeling like I was just slowing down, and
Like
every
going with
single
motion.
step, every single step, it was just like heavier, 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 heavier. Even that, I was thinking, trying to stay positive and just like
Yeah, what
really
was going on in
embrace
your
it.
head? What were you doing? How were you medicating it through your mind?
At that moment, I was just thinking to go through the finish line. I was just saying like, okay, if you want to stop, you have to go to the finish line. Like, you have to finish this to stop. Like, that's the only thing that you want now. So just go to the finish line. Go to the finish. Go, go, go. And then people start yelling at you, like really cheering up. And so it was like when you start going to the finish line, that was just like energy and everything. So I was just like, yes, it's
Yeah.
done. So
Which is nice because there's not too many people finishing when
Yeah.
you're second overall. Amazing. And so I'm going to give Mark's question to you as well. Like, how did you change your race plan based on in comparison to other Ironmans that you've done, and how did it work for you? Because you had a pretty big PR yesterday too.
yeah, I had a PR and I feel like I didn't change that much my plan for the race. The only thing that we changed, like Siri and I, it was part of the mental game, about like really present in the moment, repeating and repeating so many different like quite of mantras, being in control, and really being like completely confident of the decisions that we were doing, or the thing that we were doing. And the only thing that I add to that part, it was like a lot of joy at every single moment, like a lot of, like I said, like making jokes of bad decisions that I was made it at the moment, laughing of myself at some moments. I was joking at some part of the roads that it was worse than the Mexican streets.
And I want to add something. That's right.
So yeah.
I want to add something. It's the first time that at night, he was just telling me, like, I was enjoying the views. Like, I was climbing, but I was looking at the vineyards. I was, like, feeling the air. I was doing this. I was doing that. And then it's the first time that I see him cross the line and just, like, slowing down and giving high fives to everyone and just, like, laughing. And, like, he was really enjoying everything around him. And that finish line, for, like, to watch you like that, it felt amazing. He was happy. He was happy.
Yeah, it's the only thing that I will say that I changed. It's more about like the things, the surrounding, and not just about like how fast you can go, you know.
And how did that work for you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know, one of the...
It was quite fine.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this idea of bringing joy into it is so important. And that's one of the mantras that my meditation teacher has given me, like in times in a race, even in life, when it's just things are going down, you know, or I'm in a lot of sensation, or life is really tough, I'll just think the word joy in my head over and over and over again. And it's like, if that's where you're focusing your awareness, it's not going to get any worse. Like you might be in the muck and the thick of it all, but if you can just keep your mind on joy, even just that word, you know, it's like the universe is listening. And we're all out here doing this to learn about ourselves and to chase our dreams and to reach our goals. And I think all three of you are amazing. PJ, we didn't get you. Troy, you did a
9:01:52.
9:01:52. Oh my God, that's insane. Second overall, first in his age group, going to Kona. Beej, what was your final time?
10:44.
10:44, 14th in your age group, highest you've placed in your age group before, and the Kona slots rolled down to 6. So you're getting there, my friend.
Closer.
You've got another. You've got another in 8 weeks.
It's right there.
Couple more. I know, it's right there. So BJ's got Wisconsin in 8 weeks, and then Ironman Arizona 8 weeks later. Troy, what do you have coming up? Anything?
I'm going to Chattanooga and then Kona.
Yeah, you are.
Aloha.
That plan just happened this week. You going to, Elizabeth?
Yes.
This year, I don't know. I went with him last year. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I'm happy
awesome.
we're not the same age
We'll
group.
see.
All right. I know. That's okay. We just got it. Well, he's going to turn pro anyway. He's going to turn pro, and then he's going to be world champion. So it's going to be amazing. Susannah, what do you have coming up? Anything? Besides the winery?
Last fall I on a whim entered Billy and I into the Berlin Marathon lottery, and we got in. So we're gonna go push that, and I don't know now. It's a flat marathon, so maybe I'll push it on that. I haven't thought about it too much.
Cool.
Maybe a couple little tries in between. So.
Awesome. And then you're going Aloha with your man.
Oh yeah, we got that.
Yeah, because Billy qualified in Cozumel. You had to, man.
Yeah.
You had to. All right, you guys, go
I
back.
just wanted to
Yeah.
Sue's missed it by one slot.
I know.
It's
Missed it by
tough as a lady. There were very few women.
There was only-
on the course.
So tough.
Pretty much only there's maybe 2 or 3 age groups for women that got 2 spots instead of only 1.
Yeah, there was only one spot, and then there was one age group, and nobody showed up, and they rolled that down to 30 or 34.
yeah.
So you just got to get older, and you'll be good. It's not that bad. Getting older is good.
You age good like the
All right.
wine. Yeah, the good wine I'm gonna drink. I'll age well.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so that's a wrap. Post-race roundtable Smackdown here at Ironman
It's not
Santa
round.
Rosa. It's a square table,
table.
but they can't
Smackdown.
see that, Troy.
I was going to say that since we started.
It's the square table Smackdown. That actually sounds even better. So thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. If you like the show, share it with your friends. We're getting 100 reviews on iTunes by the end of August. So go to iTunes. Yes, Susannah, go to iTunes right today and leave your review. Billy, you've already left us a review.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got 2 right there. Leave us a review. It's totally reasonable goal, so we're going for it. Help us reach it. We appreciate every single one of you, and we are in deep, deep thanks of the support. So signing off from Santa Rosa, California. We got to send these guys off to the winery and give them our phone numbers because they'll probably be calling us to pick them up later on. All right. Peace.
Later.